It's been an interesting month for you. You go into Invicta here with a fight coming up, and then everything kind of happens in Ferguson a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the emotions you were going through during your training camp, and what kind of difficulties that you had during your training camp? Because obviously you had to always be on call, and you had to work long hours. But tell us a little bit about that struggle.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a large period of my training camp where my focus had to shift from my fight into, work and making sure I make it home safe every day to my family. With everything in Ferguson, because I'm a police officer in St. Louis, I was in the middle of the rioting every night. I ended up working 22 days in a row with no days off and 12-hour shifts. So there were long days. I wasn't getting much sleep, especially because I was getting up and still getting to the gym to train the little hours I had before I had to get my gear on and go back out there. It was a crazy experience, and everyone with Invicta was very supportive. Everyone in the women's MMA community was supportive. Shannon and Julie Kedzie stayed in contact with me, and I kept them updated. And Shannon twice called me and was like, "I'll put you on the next card. It's not a big deal. I understand that you can't really focus on your fight right now. You're not getting in the gym as much as you want." And every time I was like, "Nope." I was like, "I'm not backing down. I'm a police officer, and we don't back down. We don't give up." I was like, "I'm taking this fight."
Yeah, I mean, some people might not know this, but you've always had a passion to want to be a cop, and as a person, we've heard really good stories about how you sometimes even during a shift, you'll stop and save a lost kitten or someone like that as well. Why are you so passionate about being a cop, and what does that mean to you to be a police officer and to be able to serve the people of St. Louis?
I mean, I love my career as an officer, like you said. I mean, honestly, I guess it sounds cliche, but I love to serve and protect. I like to get the bad guys off the street to help make the community safer. I mean, it's my huge passion. I mean, I go into work every day excited to be there, and I think that's awesome that I am excited to be at work, because not everyone has that blessing to get excited to do what they do. But I also love being an MMA fighter, and I get excited to go to the gym every day. So both my passions in life, I would never want to lose one of them. I always want both of my careers of being an officer and an MMA fighter in my life.
I mean, yeah, this has been a mental struggle too, because obviously you were on the front lines there for a while, and there were death threats, and were people threatening you, and there's a lot of bad things said to you on the front line as well. How have you been able to keep your mental focus coming in, and really how are you kind of mentally recovering off of that, or in being that mentally tough in order to come here and focus on this fight?
I'd say a big part of it is just I have such a strong support system. I mean, my family, my friends, all my teammates, and then, plus the women's MMA community. I mean, all the support I have definitely helps me to push forward and know that, it's just a bump in the road, and I can get past this, and I can still have a strong training camp and win this fight.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I mean, it's been a tough road for you. You've lost your past two. Your last one was a really close decision at Invicta. And, can you tell us a little bit about getting over that hurdle and really, concentrating on getting that win again, and getting that win and kind of getting your career going again?
Yeah, I mean, the past 2 years of MMA career have, definitely been a struggle. Like, the first fight, I lost against Joanne Calderwood. I lost my vision in that fight, the 3 broken bones under this eye, and I had to get surgery and metal plate here and had to recover from that. And then, after taking a couple months off recovering from my surgery, I get back at it, train really hard for my fight last year, and I lost a controversial split decision. I mean, it's just like being an officer, you just got to mentally just suit up and just go back out there, and that's what I do as a fighter. I mean, it sucks, and, obviously you're going to have days where you're disappointed and, sad or mad or whatever your emotion is, but my drive is to prove to everyone that that's not me. Like, I'm a better fighter than that. I've just had a rough past 2 years, and I'm ready to get back in there and show the world, what I'm capable of.
Now Alexa's known for a lot for her striking. She's had 3 knockouts in her career as well. How do you see this fight playing out? Do you think that you might take it to the ground, or are you kind of keeping that a little bit under the collar, as it were, to what your game plan is against Alexa, and what do you think about her as an opponent?
I think Alexa is a great opponent. I mean, she's obviously good. Everyone in Invicta's good. I mean, Invicta's not going to throw you a scrub. So, I mean, she's a tough fight, but I'm a tough fight too. I think she's well-rounded, and I think I'm well-rounded as well. Like, I don't like specialize in like jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai. I'm not like a college wrestler, but I think we're both similar in the aspects of like we're both just well-rounded. So, I mean, I think it's a good fight, and since my last fight, I haven't taken any time off the gym. Like, I fought, Invicta last year on a Saturday, and that Monday I was back in the gym training. I haven't taken any time off. Really, the only time I took off was during all the riots in Ferguson. Even then, I didn't take time off, so I was still getting some hours in the gym. But I feel prepared wherever the fight goes.
Yeah, I mean, the 115 division is rebuilding. We're getting a lot of fresh new talent coming in as well. What do you think about some of this new talent? They're about to crown a new champion. Obviously, a win would mean a lot in terms of getting you back in that title hunt as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and how Invicta's new division is fleshing out in your eyes?
I mean, Invicta, I can't praise them enough. They're doing such an amazing job, and I know that they've signed a bunch of new girls in every weight class, and especially my weight class, because of the Ultimate Fighter signing a lot of, and the UFC signing a lot of girls. But I mean, yeah, I love that they're bringing the best in the world in, because I want to fight the best in the world. Like, I've never taken an easy fight. If you look at my record, I might not have the best record, but everyone I have fought has been ranked in the top 15 in the world. So I don't like taking easy fights. I take people that are going to push me and make me a better fighter, and that's what Invicta does for their athletes.
And you're going to be on Fight Pass, and I think that's going to mean it means a lot for a lot of fighters to have that exposure to a new fan base and in front of the UFC brass and all that as well. What does it mean to you to be on Fight Pass and to be able to show people your skills?
I mean, when I found out Invicta signed with UFC Fight Pass, I was so pumped. Like, I called my dad right away and called my manager. I was like, "Did you hear with the news?" Like, I mean, it's just amazing, because UFC Fight Pass, the whole world tunes into it. So not only are we going to get like our talent out there to show the world what we're capable of, but I mean, it's just going to open up so many doors and avenues for all the females, as far as sponsorship and just getting better fights and more competitive fights, and just getting our names out there. It's just going to help immensely.
Also a gateway to possibly going into the UFC eventually, and I'm pretty sure that's one of your goals.
Definitely. Every female fighter that's pro, even Amy's, that's the goal, is to get to the UFC.
Anybody you're predicting for Tough 20 at the moment? Who's going to win it?
Nah. I mean, they're all talented, and I wish them all the best. I don't really have one in particular that thinks, it's going to dominate.
Anybody you'd like to thank? Any sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, Fear the Fighter, XINX, Tussle, Fight Doctor, thank my team, Burger MMA, and want to thank Victory. They're my strength and conditioning gym. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is Grappling Concepts in St. Louis, and thank my manager, Hector Castro.
And at Smashly MMA on Twitter, right?
Yep, that's me.
And make sure to check her out on Facebook as well, Ashley. Best of luck to you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.